Good morning and welcome to Radio Musti's Cricket Corner. We are looking at the Champions Trophy matches that are being played in Pakistan and Dubai. 8 of the top one-day international teams are in action. And yesterday we saw the first semi-final when India managed to get past Australia, and now they're into the final. And later today we'll have the match between New Zealand and South Africa, the other semi-final. Yesterday's match between Australia and India. Let's look at that first. And the match was tense. That match was tense, not at all easy for India. They made it a little difficult for themselves by losing wickets and losing some of the players, which playing some unnecessary shots, which were not really needed at that moment. But credit to Australia, they were not having some of their top players, but they fought hard till the very end with a young team. Probably they were about 20 runs short, you would say. It would have made the game more thrilling. But in the end, for India, Virat Kohli, of course, was the anchor. Solid innings from him. Then credit should also go to KL Rahul. A superb innings at the end. He held the chase together very well, and Hardik Pandya with those explosive sixes. So, Jitesh, good win for India yesterday.
Yep, a great win. Super excited. The Josh is very high today. Watched the entire game, and as expected, India win. You did say that it was a nervous middle overs or in the end, but बाबूजी बड़े-बड़े मैचेस में ऐसी छोटी-छोटी बातें होते रहती हैं. So you should keep calm. I mean,
but I thought some of the shots that they played was not necessary. Shreyas Iyer was going so well. There was no need for him to really play the shot. Akshar Patel was also there. I was so confident, looking forward to these guys will take it, make it very smooth towards the end. But it was a little tense.
Correct. I mean, this is why this game is the beauty of this game, right? You think that you are going in cruise control, and all of a sudden you hit a speed breaker, and then you have to restart. So, I mean, the situation didn't demand that. We lost some wickets, but I think at the other end, I mean, you had somebody who is. I saw the stats yesterday. He completed 8,000 runs, ODI runs, just in chase.
Yeah.
I mean, 8,000 runs in top international cricketers don't finish by end of their career also into altogether. So great game. It was perfect, a script for a person like Kohli, because after so many years now, these kind of 260, 280 chases, Kohli is like made for these chases, and he was at the other end. So
but I think we will be talking about Kohli, of course. But I thought KL Rahul played a great innings there, just keeping cool. He played perfect. He was so solid. And then when the time was right, he hit those shots. Also, he hit those sixes. Then he also kept the rotating the strike and kept the scoreboard moving. Neil, great innings from Rahul. I think he equal praise.
I thought he came into his own just at the right moment. And it's fascinating when Kohli got out to that lofted shot. He said, "Man, why did you have to go there?" That was a beautiful
change. Exactly.
It's the first time in many months I've seen KL in that attacking mode. He's normally had to play, drop anchor towards the end of the innings and keep one side up. But that was a great innings. And Hardik,
that's what I was.
I noticed he was hobbling on one knee.
No, that's what I was telling. Even a batter like Kohli, never expected him to play that shot. I thought he had his chances, and Australian fielding for once, I thought like they were not in the top form. Maxwell dropping that catch, and then like Kohli had his chances, but I thought he will take India through till the end, but never expected that shot from him. Was it fatigue, or was it like he was sure the other players can probably play those big shots and take us through? So I don't know what was his thinking basically.
Yeah, maybe it was what you can do, I can do too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you see the first innings also, India did drop so many catches. Again, The second ball of
Yeah.
the game, head was dropped by Shami, and again, these are all part and parcel of the game. And good that India had the sufficient Panadols with them to get the headache out of the crease early in the innings. Otherwise, and 300 was always there till 35th over.
Yeah.
Till the time
Yeah.
on 30th over when Smith got out. By that time,
Yeah.
everybody was saying that 300 is the score that India will be chasing. And by the way, if 300 was scored, it would have
Yeah.
been a different game altogether, and the result also might have been different because 300 is huge to chase in Dubai.
Yeah. I mean,
And
talking
Harry,
about drop catches, I think that is one area which India's fielding should be better. They have not been really in top class in all these games. The fielding has really to improve, especially when you're playing a team like New Zealand, probably in the final. Their team fielding, as we saw in the last match against India, was excellent. The catches they took, and Williamson, and also Glenn Phillips, the excellent fielders. So India needs one area which the fielding has to improve. Neil, what do you think India has to do in the areas of fielding? Varun Chakravarti is another fielder who
I
cannot
was
be
about to
really
say,
placed somewhere in the deep. So all these things have to be taken into account for the final, I suppose.
unfortunately, the rules of the game don't permit you to, have him go in and out of the of the ground. But yeah, where do you hide him? I mean, there is no fielding position in this
Yeah.
kind of game that will give you that
Yeah.
cover. So yeah, that is a weakness. Sorry to say that.
So Indian
I
bowling.
just want to say बच्चों की जान लोगे क्या आप मतलब फाइनल में भी पहुंच गए मैच भी जिता दिया अनबीटन है उसके बाद भी we are
So,
finding
let's celebrate.
but yeah there is areas of improvement but I don't think so it's a problem that India is taking it to the final. Fielding is required, catches win you matches. Cometh the hour, these champions they will deliver. It's just about one bad game with fielding. I think we are in control of that.
No, and
Yeah,
there
one
were
good thing was
some
also.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, Santosh, sorry, very quickly,
Yeah,
that
go
there
ahead,
were
go
some
ahead.
golden moments. Look at Shreyas Iyer's throw to get rid of
Yeah.
Carey. Had Carey
Yeah.
stayed on till the end of the 50th, that 272-80 was definitely on the cards.
Yeah, easily. And one good thing was also the bowling of Jadeja. He got back a little bit and he got a few wickets. So that adds to the Indian bowling potency of the Indian bowling, I thought. So it's a good combination right now. They're going with like 4 spinners. They have options and variety, and also at the top, Shami is there, and also Hardik always gives his 100%. So India seems to be a very balanced team, like going into the final.
Yeah. I
Like,
just
but
want
what?
to add one thing on this point of balanced team, right? And I think we have not spoken about it. And this
Yeah,
is something which, again, is my view. I have seen all the combinations for all the teams who are in Champions Trophy or World Cricket playing ODIs right now. If you
yeah,
see, India has 3 all-rounders. And by
yeah,
definition of all-rounders, they don't have those 50% who can bowl, 50% who can bat. All
yeah,
these 3 all-rounders, Jadeja, Akshar, and Hardik, if you
yeah,
give them the ball, they will be 100% bowler on the field. If you give them
yeah,
to bat, they will be
yeah,
100% batsman who's batting. I think that's the definition of all-rounder, which
yeah,
everybody from fans' perspective and audience perspective should understand. This is how all-rounders are defined. You
yeah,
don't take all-rounders because he can hit 2 sixes and can bowl also, or the other way around. So I think India is doing superbly well on this. So
yeah.
coming to this, there is a question from the audience. Where the question is, from India's perspective, which team would be tougher challenge in the final? South Africa's firepower or New Zealand's tactical discipline?
So as we saw in the last game India played against New Zealand, I think India's know what New Zealand can offer, and they are, I think, better placed against New Zealand. I think, but South Africa always they have a lot of talent going for them. The batters can be explosive and a good bowling attack too. But the problem with South Africa is, as we have seen, always chokers in big matches. So whether they can really come out of that is the question when if they are playing India. So Neil, your what do you think about it?
Yeah, my thoughts on that, Santosh, is it's I think that label of joker they've carried it far too long. I think this is a bit of a turning point. They've got
Yeah,
a very balanced team, to use Jitesh's word,
yeah,
and both their pace bowlers and their frontline batsmen, whether you're talking about Klaasen, I mean, we regard him as the number one ODI batsman based on recent form. And then you've
yeah.
got Markham and Miller and a couple of others who will, I think, deliver the goods. I think it could be a turning point, and I think they're hell bent, according to me, on avenging the T20 final defeat. That's my take. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, South Africa have played India in big matches in the last World Cup. Also, they came to the final. So they are playing really good cricket, and it's a question of if they can lift the game against India on that particular day when everything comes together for them. So, Jitesh, who do you think is going to be the key today? Of course, is a match between New Zealand and South Africa. This is going to be played in Lahore. So, what's your take on the conditions there in Lahore, and also how do you see the match sort of panning out?
Yeah, I mean, this is the most balanced game of the tournament if you talk about it. Both South Africa, New Zealand, they are absolutely at the same level if you talk about top order, power play game, middle order, bowling, spinners, and everything. So, this is the game of the tournament right now for me. I know
Yeah,
Indian games are more, more appealing, but this is the game for the tournament. This is a high scoring ground. It's a
yeah,
batter's paradise. Both teams have big hitters. South Africa have somebody in form, red hot form like Klaasen. They have a finisher in by the name of Miller. Their top order is also performing. Similarly, New Zealand, Glenn Phillips, Williamson back into the form. Their openers have scored 100. Latham has scored 100. It's an evenly matched game.
yeah,
I mean, from the perspective of who does well, I think the toss will play the crucial part in this game. Whoever wins the toss puts a big total. I think
yeah.
they will get the edge of it. And it come what may, चाहे South Africa हो चाहे New Zealand हो, हम तैयार हैं. You come, we are ready for the finals.
So, as we have been reading, it's been a bit cold in Lahore, and of course, it's batting paradise. Actually, the average first inning score there is about 315 runs. So that's been the totals that the teams have been putting in. And as we see, both South Africa and New Zealand have good batting lineups. New Zealand, of course, with Williamson back now and looking solid, and but I feel I would give the edge in the batting to South Africa. I think they are much more explosive players, have more talent there in the batting lineup. And Neil, how do you see compare the two batting lineups?
I think they're so evenly balanced. A lot hinges on Kane Williamson. I think the
Yeah,
difference between New Zealand and South Africa is that there's not really that one player dependence on the South Africa side. I wouldn't say dependence, but it's just like he has been the anchor for so many years that upon his return for form, he's immediately stepped back into that role. There was a bit
yeah,
of a void; he's filled that void. So
yeah.
yeah, that's my take. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt Williamson was a bit slow against the match in India. He took his own time,
Yeah.
but towards the end, he couldn't really accelerate that much. But on the other hand, wickets are also falling at the other end. So Williamson again very crucial for New Zealand. But they have Rachin Ravindra is batting well, Tom Latham, Will Young, all batting well.
Yeah.
So what do you think will be their strategy? Win the toss and bat first, Jitesh?
Yep, as I said, win the toss, bat first, because runs on the board at knockout stages is always advantageous for every team. But to
Yeah,
be honest, even if you are chasing, both the teams
yeah,
have chances. It's not like a pitch demon will be there that it will be a slow turner or you need to, apply yourself and play, run a ball or something. Only then you'll get it. You will see lots of big shots there. You will see, big total there. I hope so, as per
Yeah.
the pitch that plays there. And again, not rubbing salt to the wound, but at least give Pakistan fans a game before the last game where you can see, big scores, because this tournament, unfortunately, one or two games have been big high scoring. Other than that, most of the games were washed out, or most of the games are in Dubai, which is 250, 260 games. So, I mean, as I said, evenly poised. The game of the tournament right now has to be a cracker, and if it is a high scoring game, everybody will enjoy the show there.
Good.
Okay, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at the bowling and the fielding and the other aspects in the match between New Zealand and South Africa, which will take place later today in Lahore.
Yeah.
बदल गया
सच्ची बदल गया दिखाओ दिखाओ मुझे भी चाहिए आंखों की एक्सपीरियंस से लेकर दिल की धड़कन तक सब बदल गया Your favorite Radio Masti 24/7 app just got a major makeover. Super quick interactions and easy peasy lemon squeezy user interface. Chat room to gossip and audio and video on demand. Even better sound quality. और भी बहुत कुछ, पर हम क्या बताएं? खुद देख लो. ऐप का काम हो गया. अब आपकी बारी है. तो इंतजार किस बात का? Tap your way to the App Store या Play Store and tune into the vibe with Radio Masti 24/7 app now. It's free, it's here, and it's yours to be.
Radio Masti 24/7, Southeast Asia's only live Bollywood radio station.
Stay tuned.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
So as we have seen in the pitches in Pakistan, it's the fast bowlers with height, high release points, who have been able to get some bounce and movement on the pitches there, and there are quite a lot of them in both the sides. You say you can take Kyle Jamieson, then there's also Willow Rook, then Matt Henry, Rabada. So many of these fast bowlers from high release points. So initially, it looks like they will get some movement and bounce in those pitches there. And question really is how the batters are going to tackle those initial things, the pace bowling. And for me, I think from both teams, there are batters who can handle this kind of bounce and pace very well, especially the South Africans. I think they're quite good at it. Jitesh, how do you see them tackling the initial part of the innings?
I mean, if I imagine the toss time, New Zealand versus South Africa, Bamuma with Santner. Santner might say that I have Jamieson, I have Rook, I have Henry, I have Rachit Ravindra, Williamson and all. The star to watch out for me today, where Bamuma will say, माना कि तुम्हारे पास इतने बड़े-बड़े player हैं, मेरे पास Marco Jansen है. That's the gun player that South Africa has, who is so underrated. With that height, he comes and bowls with the new ball, and with that long handle in the middle order or lower middle order, he gives you that run. I am looking out for this guy. For me, he might be the player of the match, because he's world-class match winner right now for them, and add to it what Klaasen and everybody does. So I am trying to say that I am backing South Africa in it, but it is gonna be a cracker of a game. So
I forgot to mention Marco Jansen earlier. Of course, he's probably the tallest bowler there who will be playing today, and also is an excellent fielder. As we saw the catches he took, he's probably the outstanding fielder, outstanding player for South Africa at the moment. I think he can bat, he can bowl, and he can also field. But we spoke about the fast bowlers, but it's really coming to the question of the spinners. So in that area, I think New Zealand are a bit better placed. I think South Africa, depending largely on Keshav Maharaj, who's been bowling well. New Zealand have the captain, of course, Santner. Then he's also backed by Rachin Ravindra and Bracewell. So New Zealand, Neil, you think are better placed in the spin department?
I think, Santosh, the players you've named as in terms of their spin bowling depth, those are the leaders. But you also have backup in the form of I don't know whether Conway will play and replace Darren Mitchell. That could be another option for them. And then you've got Glenn Phillips. Let's not forget, Glenn Phillips is underrated. Sometimes he comes in and takes a surprise wicket or two. So I think they've got more spin, whichever way you look at it. Frontliners plus backup.
Yeah. So, that's true. But you think the edge is for New Zealand in terms of the spin part of it, Jitesh?
I mean, I differ in this my thought process of all this, because as we know, right, Lahore pitches are high scoring pitches, right? If you put more spinners in front of batters like Makram, batters like Miller and Klassen and Jensen, it will be easier for them to hit them out of the ground, because if it is coming slow, this pitch will not have demons of a big turner or a spin and bounce like kind of wicket, right? So it gets easier for the middle order to get settled in. And I think that's where the edge of South Africa with pace bowling attack. I know they only have Maharaj, but they also have Makram, for instance, who can come and bowl those spin over. And he's been doing well. He has won 2 SAT20s with his Sunrisers team, and he has been bowling those spin bowling. But again, if you think about the mix, the host nation, Pakistan, they wanted to play all their games in Pakistan. What they chose was just one spinner, regular spinner, because their analysis is this pitches will support the pace bowling, and it will be difficult to hit those pace bowlers out of the ground. So from that perspective, my thought process is that whosoever has a better pace bowling battery today, they will edge out the game.
That's a good
So
point.
whatever we say,
Sorry.
Go ahead, Neil.
Good point. Like you've got the matchup will be Matt Henry versus Ryan Rickleston. That's the first matchup which we need to watch with great interest. Rickleston is in great form. Matt Henry's had a couple of good matches, and he's the spearhead of the pace bowling attack as far as New Zealand is concerned.
So whatever we say, I think the fielding is bound to be excellent, as we have seen New Zealand right through. And Glenn Phillips been taking those amazing catches, especially at that point area. He's like fantastic. You saw the way he grabbed Kohli the other day, and also the few other amazing catches you have taken. Kane Williamson also excellent fielder, and New Zealand fielding overall is of very high standard. And South Africa too. I think they have very good fielders. And Jitesh, this could be.
The funny part is these guys are called Kiwis. Kiwis don't fly, but Glenn Phillips, he only flies.
Yeah.
The bugger don't do anything at point. I mean, crazy. 2 catches in one tournament, both are outstanding, unreal catches. And I have not seen in recent cricket somebody plucking those like this. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Fielding display will be great.
And saying at least.
Yeah, we have another question. Sorry to interrupt, by one of the viewers. The question is, South Africa has a history of struggling in knockout matches. Do you think they have overcome the choker's tag, or will the pressure get to them again? You guys want to take that question?
I think Neil answered that question to some extent. I think they've always had this tag, but as we have seen in recent ICC matches, South Africa have come at least towards the semi-finals or the finals. They've all been featuring quite regularly, and it's just a question of them crossing that final line there of winning a big tournament. I think so. They have the talent, they have the players, and they have the experience also now. It's quite a question of the leadership and how they are going to handle the pressure and then win these matches. Neil, anything more for you to add?
I'll just repeat the comment Jitesh made earlier. I think it's worth repeating. There's no the sky is the limit, but in this case, there's no sky on the boundary.
And to add to what you said, Neil, sir, I mean, jokes apart, South Africa, the choker tag, my view is it's still with them. See, in life, not only cricket, nobody remembers the person who came second. South Africa has not won a big tournament. I think once they won the Champions Trophy long back. Other than that, they have never won anything. Till the time you do that, you will be placed at chokers because they have been the most consistent, strongest team across three formats since
Yeah,
years, since they came back in '92 World Cup and all those stuff. So,
yeah,
I mean, बोलने में अच्छा लगता है फ्लावर समझे क्या फायर एम है पुष्पा है ये सब बोलना अच्छा लगता है बट वेयर इज द रिजल्ट पुष्पा हो
yeah,
तो फायर दिखाओ कभी नहीं दिखाया वो फ्लावर ही बन के रहते हैं एंड दैट्स हाउ इट हैज बीन अनफॉर्चुनेटली
yeah. But if you look at every department, they are quite strong. They are strong in batting, bowling, as well as fielding. Have a very good, solid team actually. So it's just a question of how they're going to handle the pressure and what it takes for them to just cross that, the final frontier, as you say, like just win one big tournament. So the question today is that first they have to win against New Zealand, and then if they win, it'll be India in the final on Sunday. So today, what do you think is the key for them to beat New Zealand, Jitesh?
For me, the key are the three players that I want to see them come to the party. If these three perform, South Africa will win. One is Klaassen, second is Miller, and the third one is, as I said, my player of the match will be Marco Jansen. If these three come to the party, New Zealand has no chance. However, similarly, from New Zealand perspective, if Rachit Ravindra and Williamson, the old days Williamson, where he plays with a high strike rate, and Glenn Phillips, then New Zealand will pass through.
Neil, New Zealand, what do you think they need to do today?
I think they have to start well, frankly. Whenever they have not started well, they put pressure on the middle order. And so part of, Kane Williamson's innings against us also was due to wickets falling around him. So, the first 2-3 wickets have to put up strong partnerships.
So for me, I think I'm favoring New Zealand to win today. I feel they've become a much more solid team under Santner. They look really good. South Africa have the talent there, but it's on the day whether they really can click. That is going to be very important. And if you see, for example, South Africa winning today's match, how do you see them playing India on Sunday, Jitesh?
Sorry. You said South Africa?
I said if South Africa wins today, how do you see the final, with
I
India?
mean, if South Africa, as I said, South Africa goes there, I think they don't have that much chance because the spin quality is lacking from South Africa. New Zealand will still give a fight because they have already played one game against India and they got to know the medicine their own medicine, right? That only bowling spin will not give you. You have to bat through with strike rate. So more chances of beating India in final is for New Zealand, lesser for South Africa. 2 weeks back, I made this prediction that it's gonna be India versus South Africa final, or I want to stick to that. But it will be a difficult nut to crack for South Africa in the finals against India because the momentum is with them. With India, as I think I've told it every show, all boxes ticked for India. South Africa will lead to play.
Forgot to mention that in the last 3 ODIs, New Zealand and South Africa played. New Zealand won each time, and they chased down 308, I think, to beat Pakistan, beat South Africa in Pakistan in the Tri-Series. So for you, Neil, who do you think is going to go through the final, and how the final is going to turn up? If it's going to be New Zealand or South Africa that India is going to play?
My sense, similar to Jitesh, Santosh, is that it's going to be South Africa's turn to get to a final. They did that in the T20 anyway. But I think they've got, in Lahore, they probably have a better chance than if they were taking on New Zealand in Dubai. So I think they have the edge here. We've talked about their bowling attack. We've talked about their attack with batsmen who are in form and are scoring. So that's something that's not hard. That's hard to beat for New Zealand.
So let's have an exciting second semi-final today, and later, hopefully, the final will also be a thrilling and exciting match in Dubai on Sunday. So let's look forward to some good cricket. Thank you for watching our show.
We'll all see you again before the finals in our talk show, and hope we are reviewing India versus South Africa, as I said.
Well, we'll have to eat humble pie, otherwise, you and me. But that's okay.
Whichever is the opponent, it will be a treat to watch the finals.
Exactly. Whatever dessert.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, bye. See you all soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
बदल गया
सच्ची बदल गया दिखाओ दिखाओ मुझे भी चाहिए आंखों की एक्सपीरियंस से लेकर दिल की धड़कन तक सब बदल गया Your favorite Radio Masti 24/7 app just got a major makeover. Super quick